The margins are low, but the stove is high.
Hello guys in the back, please take your drink and join us. We're gonna start the new panel in 1 minute. This is the last panel. We're gonna talk about the industry, the snowboard industry, the creativity and retail. Before we start, I'll let everyone introducing yourself, but I'm very stoked about the people here. Let's start with you, Marta.
Alright, hello.
Shout out to Marta.
Hi, Marta! So yeah, you can call me Bjarne, because I'm here instead of Bjarne. But my name is Mathias. I work for Session. Workshop.
Shout out to Station. Shout out to Station. And what do you do? Just work for Station?
Oh yeah, no, I'm one of the shop managers. Strange enough. Yeah.
That's amazing. What about you, my friend? Introduce yourself and tell what you do.
Hello, my name is Simen Strandås. I'm the janitor at Surfesjappa.
There we go.
My name is Peter John de Villiers. Artist, I guess. Representing the industry, that feels a bit weird, but yeah, I've done a lot of snowboard art. I've worked with a lot of different things, people here, and yeah.
I mean, brother, you part of the industry. You work with the industry, so your insights are important.
I'm the industry.
Yeah, you're part of it. You're part of it. Truls?
Yeah, Truls, that's my name. I'm the founder of BB. I guess that's my role here today, next to being a bit stressed dad that should have started to pick up my kids half an hour ago, but I'll try to keep my nerves under control there, and hopefully my SMS isn't going crazy, so that's me.
Truls, let's start with you. How snowboarding first entered your life, and what made you stay connected to it over the years?
I think there's two sides of snowboarding to me. It's a personal one and it's a professional one. So I can start with the personal one. I'm from a small town called Elverum, which is not far away from Trysil. And I still remember kind of the first time I saw a snowboard. It was a friend of mine who had gone into Oslo and got a snowboard, a Burton Air 164. And it was something totally new I haven't seen before, and I got to borrow that board and I got totally hooked right away. And I would say for the next 10 years that became my identity. So I grew up in Trysilfjellet, was kind of the first wave of snowboards coming out of Elverum. Got the first snowboard I got in the local shop there, Burton Air 40 and wild up bindings and Crazy Creek shoes, I remember. So like, that has been a big part of my personality, especially kind of being, you know, a dyslexic, not really working up well at school, a creative art person, and then finally I find something that you can express yourself. So I think snowboarding for me was extremely similar to entrepreneurship, which became my occupation over the years. It was just a way of expressing myself. And being in the mountain with my friends and just doing stuff that hadn't been done before at that time. I'm starting to get kind of old, so you know, when I grew up, I could get invited by Torje Håkonsen to be one of the mascots at the Arctic Challenge when they were in Trysil by doing a backside rodeo 5. I mean, that's where the level was at those days. So that was amazing. And then on a professional level, you know, snowboarding became kind of my I would say textbook in branding, like how brands are built, because that was a whole new community that hadn't existed before. And it came up and became an industry, and I was lucky enough to kind of witness that from the beginning as the first boards came, the first brands, and how this got up, how it became an industry that became more and more professional. And it was also the first time I really got to experience a community. And for me, that was Forum. That was kind of the first time I felt that this isn't about the products, it's about, you know, the ethos around the brand. And for me, that was huge, and it basically built me, I think it gave me an internal understanding of how to build communities and how important communities are which is a big part of what we're doing today in DB. Like we're supporting communities in, you know, in surf, in snowboarding, in skis, in all different sports. That is expression of creativity. So long story, but this is why I'm involved presently, and also what it meant for me personally as growing up and creating my identity.
Thank you, Truls. I think you can shout out to Truls to be with us. TJ, what about you? Like, how did you got into snowboarding, and why are you still like into this world, crazy world?
Okay, so I was in the US like as a teenager in the Northeast. Like I had been skateboarding first, and then my birthday's in October. I got my first. I knew I wanted to snowboard, like no matter what. Loved it before I even did it. So I got my first snowboard for my birthday, and I spent like 2 months jumping on a trampoline with the snowboard before I ever rode it down a hill, because there was not snow ready. So that was it for me. And like I grew up in this kind of like really preppy town, and we had a friends group from like 12 years old to 18, and we were like maybe 10 or 12 people in this whole town, and we were like this is like the early 90s, so we were like the anti everything. So I don't know, for me it was like a real magical time, and my only dream, like career-wise, was to design a snowboard. And I didn't get my first snowboard until I was 30. And now I've done like 70 snowboards.
Sorry, 70?
70.
How?
So I did every like board graphic for the brand Vimana for 12 years. Like 6-ish graphics a year. And then I did a couple boards. I did some boards for Yes and Rhythm and one bird board.
Are you allowed to work with different companies when you like work with Mena?
So when I like signed with Vimana, I actually like came on as owner, and then I went exclusive. It was like a family. It was like I felt totally loyal and super grateful for that opportunity. So I put all my cards in there, and I was super happy to do it. I was given total freedom and like really a chance to like shape visual part of that brand. So nothing but love there, but sadly like this season Vimana has put down cards, so I'm just like, it was an amazing chapter of my life, but we'll see what happens now.
Now you have more freedom to work with many brands, hopefully. Simon.
I think it was 1991. I think it was my mother who brought me and Øyvind, who is here today, to Hurdal, a ski resort 1 hour north of Oslo. And he had a Sims switchblade, and I was on skis. And he let me borrow the board. I don't know how I got down that hill on that board with no side cut or anything, but I think it was late in the season, and he was going to buy a new board, so I bought his Sims switchblade, probably in 91, 92. And then we were a community locally, maybe like 8 guys in different age groups. We started snowboarding and went to the shops every weekend, buying the videos, going to Trysil. We woke up at 7 o'clock on Saturdays, and we went downtown, jumped on the bus to Trysil, maybe 13, 14, 15 years old, and went up there with like an ice box with like 12 sandwiches made by our mothers, and we were gone for 14 hours to Trysil, no cell phones, no nothing, and we had to get back on that bus at 3 or 4 o'clock down to the Oslo again, and the local train back home at 10, 11 evening. We made jumps in the backyard. We went to Tryvann without any money. Tryvann back in the days, you had to go through a trail to get to the ski resort from the parking. And we waited in the trail 7 o'clock in the evening, and the kids on skis, they came from practice. And the snowboarders, we were standing there and asking them politely, "Do you need your lift ticket?" So we hustled the lift ticket so we can ride for free the rest of the evening. And then we rode to 10 o'clock in the evening. We took the subway down, and then we went home, and we were probably home 12 o'clock at night. No contact with the parents, just making it in our own way. And that was the start.
Thank you so much. Yes, Martha, what about you? Like, what made you? What's the crazy thing that happened that made you start snowboarding? Like, why?
So I grew up in Trysil, where there's not much else to do. You go on a mountain, there's not really anything else. And I remember I saw a couple of really cool people when I was around maybe 8, 9, and they were snowboarding. And of course I wanted to be cool too, so I also wanted to snowboard. And luckily my aunt, she owned a ski rental in Trysil, so she provided me with everything I needed, and they gave me lessons so I could look cool in front of the other cool people. And then I just got hooked. I remember starting high school in Trysil, and you can choose to do sports. And my mom always wanted me to be a soccer player. And I remember coming home one night and be like, "Mom, I'm gonna choose snowboarding instead of soccer for high school." And she was really disappointed. I don't know if she ever really forgave me for that, but
You want to say something to her now?
I mean, she's at home watching my son, so I love her. She's the best.
I want to dive straight into it. I grew up going to remember the shop that didn't sell the board? It happened after a few weeks coming back. To me, the shop was the cultural hub, the place where you sit down on the couch, and I think a lot of people can relate to it. You just don't buy anything, you sit down, watch your heroes, touch product, touch board, you spend the day there. You work at the shop, both together. Like, do you think the shop is still like a cultural hub anymore? Like, is this a place that we can call a shelter, a place where we're safe? And is this still like the case nowadays?
In some ways, but not the same as it used to. I mean, many years ago, like all the skaters would come to session, and they would hang out. They would be like the meeting point before they went to their spots. They would drink coffee, maybe watch some edits before they went out. They don't do that anymore. In the same way, people come by and drink coffee, but it's not the same hangout spot as it used to, which is sad. You're all welcome to come hang out and drink coffee.
Did you remove the couch?
No, I don't know if there's ever. Yeah, okay, we did. Yeah, some really nice Coca-Cola chairs to sit in.
I can chime in something here.
Yeah, please.
When I first moved to Norway, Session was the very first place that I contacted for work, because this was like something I was familiar with, skateboarding, snowboarding. So I remember I was like, I just moved here, I'm a snowboarder, I don't know anybody, I just want to share my work with you guys. And Session totally took me in, and that led to Vimana and everything. So I will say thank you very much.
Simon, what's your take on this? Like, is this still like a hub, a cultural hub anymore, or do you think like things have changed?
Things have, of course, changed, because now you don't have like 5 videos a year. You don't have like the opening day for the season in the shop where you can see everything for the first time. So the shop is playing a different role. It's bad or not, I can't say. I try to be open-minded because I'm getting older, and it's like Teflon on my head. So when I was a kid, it was like a sponge. So you have to try to bring out the sponge and take in new things. But it's not the same. But I don't think it's a bad thing because now you just have different options to get information. Back in the days, you got the information through the shops because that's where you bought the videos, that's where you bought the magazines. It was like the hub. It's not anymore, but if it's a sad thing, I don't think so. I think you just have to acknowledge that it's a different time.
And what role do you think you guys play nowadays? It's like, yeah, things have changed, but what's the role right now of a shop? Because I feel like everyone's chasing a good deal on internet, you know, and it's like, how can we make things change? Like, and this is maybe, I'm jumping to you, Truls, like about the role of brands to work with shop to make things like, better. Like, what's the role of a brand to support the shop?
Well, I think first of all, it's been like a huge transformation in the entire industry over the last years. If you go back to kind of when it started for us, I remember like just living in Elverum, we took the bus into Oslo to get to the snowboard store. So I mean, the amount of distribution of the goods was so small that they would attract everyone. And the same with the media and everything. Like it's not like that anymore. I do believe that shops are, or we at Reveal believe shops are super important. It's shops we try to support. Just as an example, when COVID hit, and they shut down all the shops in the beginning, and they were going to start retailing again afterwards. Everyone went like totally bananas online on D2C. But there again, we saw that shops play an important role, and they are a loyal partner that you need to work with. And we decided then that one of our web exclusives that we did at the time, turn that around and turn it into a retail exclusive to help people go back to the stores, because it is a place to basically touch and feel products, and you get to feel a brand in a different way than what you can online. And as long as the brands and the shops manage to make like good POS that get to really show what the brand is about, then I think the brands get something good out of it and the shops get something good out of it as well. So it's different than what it was in the past, but I think it's definitely something that is important for the future of retail. Shops play an important role. They're cultural drivers as well.
I think it is. And thanks for your opinion about it. I'm curious about you. Like, do you think sometimes you feel disconnected with the brand you work with? Like, what would you say to a brand that you work with that is lacking nowadays? Like, what is lacking? Like, is there something to say? Like, if all the brands from the industry is looking at you, what would you say to the brand? Like, what should change?
If I were to be brutally honest,
Yes.
we need more demos from smaller brands. I know Birkin do demos in Trysil, Hemsedal every season, but we need all the brands to do demos, so it would be easier for us to promote other brands. I like to I rather sell down than sell up, so I always want to recommend a smaller brand to a person instead of. I don't hate Birkin, but I rather sell other stuff than Birkin, to be honest. So yeah, we're lacking demos. Yeah.
What do you guys have to say about it? Like lacking demos. Like, is anyone from Burton here could say something about this?
Well, no. We're all good friends and family. No, I can say Session has been a great friend to us lately. We happened to change up our distribution and how we show up in Norway just this last winter. And doing so, we also at the same time didn't really have the manpower to show up in person like we want to do. Like, I want to go riding with every one of you in this room. It took me some time in Sweden. Now it's been 5 years, and I feel like I've ridden with most people, and it's going to take some years again to do it in Norway. But here, Session has been a great partner to us.
And I have to say, it's a big difference from what we came from with the other distributor.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is way better.
But like a collaboration that we did there, like we didn't have the manpower. They have the manpower because they're here. We have the product, so to be able to show up and do the demos that are important for the stores, we gave our demo fleet to them, and they could use it instead of them putting a lot of money into buying like extra goods for that or anything like. So it was a win-win situation for both. They got to do demos, they got to sell the product. We can like sign off the kind of checklist at the end of the season, like what are they returning or whatnot. They got to sell more. We got to have some presence in the resorts that we wouldn't have otherwise. So, you know, sometimes the circumstances aren't like what you really want them to be, and you just have to make the most of it. And when you can build partnerships and support each other and find like the common ground, I think that's when we can keep pushing like everyone's needs like further and grow the industry and keep like doing fun things together and like see how we show up for each other.
She was brutal with you. Can you be brutal with her and say like?
No, because Sasha has been nice.
No, but generally with shops, like what should change between your relationship with them? Say it.
Really is nothing. I mean, it's a hard time to be a retailer today. Like we had a shop in Stockholm. I shut it down because the rent was too high. The space was too big. I would never have signed up to it if it was my choice from the beginning. People aren't buying products in the same way that they did in the past. It's a really crazy environment, like macro, micro, however you want to look at it. Secondhand is really important too. We need to figure out like how we can grow the market, not just by selling more stuff, but doing it in a conscious way. And the stores that want to talk to us and like have that conversation to figure out how we can all like keep having jobs and keep doing this together and keep like going writing. Like that's how we continue doing this thing. So I can't say in my 1 year personal relationship with Sessions or any Norwegian shops, I can't say that they have done anything bad. I'm super grateful that we are able to have this personal connection with the Norwegian market now. So that's a big bonus to us.
Yeah, and you are who I want to talk about.
Thank you.
So like I've known Thomas, so going back to like what Marty said, so like I've known Thomas almost for, is it long enough? Yeah. So I know, this was awkward. I've known Thomas for almost like 20 years, and I also used to be shop manager at Session like 15 years ago. And this guy, like he's so dedicated. Like when I was manager, I used to, like I always had like the rail events at the mall that we worked on and all other events that was happening on the mall. I tried to be active on all of them. Thomas was there supporting, being sponsored, giving out prizes. I worked a lot with the local ski resort. Like we talked a lot about Trivon, but can also give a heads up to one. So by the way, like he works with like Papita and Union, and he was always like yes. He never told me like no. He was fun. Yes, he was down to do everything. And like with the demos, like you just had a demo a couple of weeks ago. So like I just want to give
demos this year.
Yeah, like you do a lot of demos, and like you are always like driven and on. And again, I've known you for 20 years, and know that you've always been boom, boom, boom. And again, like you're on, and like yeah, it's the yes attitude, and it's like because we're doing this for the passion of the snowboard, and like it's not like Torsten was saying, like it's not money in it, like it is hard, it's a hustle. But this guy, I have to give credit.
I just want to say that I have two different roles in this world. One is snowboarding and one is selling snowboards. So I'm so lucky to do what I love to do in my spare time and what I love to do as a daily business. So I work from 8 to 4 selling snowboards, and then I snowboard from 4 to 10. With my family. So that's what I do for a living. I'm so lucky to be a part of that, and thank you for saying that. I just want to jump in so you to see that kind of I have 2 hats on today. And I want to put the line you say there as well on pull that forward. Like I would say, not talking regardless of money and regardless of which kind of way we are in or position we are at today's date. Some years are really tough, some years are really good. But passion and dedication and do what you love to do regardless of money, that's the main part. Building relationships and not pay attention to sales or anything, do relationship with shops, retailers, and pay attention to what they say, what their needs are. Therefore, I want to question you, Sigmund, because you've been doing a lot like the last year and doing a lot for the community. What's your take on building, retail business for the upcoming years?
I don't know.
you know, because you have been doing it for a year now. So you know.
Yeah, we have a question there, down there.
I want to know if Oslo specifically needs more independent snowboard and skateboard shops.
If Oslo needs it?
With Blue Tomato and with Surfesjappa. Yeah. But that's it. Like, what else needs to happen in Oslo specifically? And other cities that don't have it.
I think that's because there's no money in snowboarding. That's that easy. Because my wife has been supporting me for 20 years because I work in a snowboard shop. And I'm not complaining because I have a dream job, but she's working as a teacher and in a kindergarten. That's not the highest paid jobs in Norway, but I make less. And I've been making less for 20 years. So there's a reason there are not more shops, because you don't get rich working in this business. Some do, very, very few. And it's been talked about money and how to get support. But in my experience, all the best times in my life, money has never been involved. It's all about experience. And I think the thing we see, like in Oslo and maybe generally in the world, where we feel like the community is stronger, it's because of the lack of money. It makes us stronger when we have to do something and bring people together without sponsors like Girl Shred or other groups. They didn't get the money first. They made it without money. And that's like all subcultures that grew strong from the 80s and 90s. The strength isn't the money, it's the people. And the people and the DIY. And people get together and they want to do something, and the end goal is not that everyone gets rich. You have other businesses where that's the goal. They don't care about what they do, they just want to see the money. But there are few shops in Oslo and in general the rest of Norway, because like maybe let's say 15, 18 years ago there were probably like 60, 70, and now we are down to maybe below 10. And that's because there's no money in this. And we focus on hardware like the snowboard goods, what you do. When there is money in snowboarding is when the rest of the world picks up on snowboarding and it becomes kind of a fashion. That's when the money comes in. And then you can sell like a lot of t-shirts to people who don't snowboard. But right now, we are selling hardware and not a lot of soft goods. So now it's just hardware, and the margins are low, but the stoke is high.
Wow, man, honestly, I have goosebumps right now because it could be that the end of the panel right now, because I think that's so positive. I want to just say thank you for saying that, because we were talking about money, we talk about the industry, what's good, what's bad, but what you're saying right now, it's like we do this because we love snowboarding, we love skateboarding, we love the joy that gives us every day, and thank you for reminding us why we do this. Thank you so much. Okay, what?
There's a question.
Please.
Hi.
Hi.
I want to circle back to the progression of snowboarding, because there's one topic we haven't really touched today, and that's the facilities that we have here in Norway compared to Eastern countries now. So this is Sondre. Where are you? There you are. Yeah. Is it feasible to create this environment in Norway with these facilities, economically and marketably? And if not, can we still compete with the top professionals in snowboarding for the coming generations? For all the panels, but I think you have a lot of experience in the field. So you can start, and then the others can fill in.
I think it's the way we get funding for sporting facilities that kind of is for high performance sports in Norway. It's kind of the same as we get for a regular soccer field or whatever. And the funding isn't there to make an indoor halfpipe like they have in China. But it's getting better. We have a bunch of skate parks in the municipalities around the country that's popping up. The Tom Clark is doing a hell of a job, getting funding, building the parks, and there's a few others that do it as well. And in snowboarding, we have it's the good and the bad, because our playground is privately owned, but the big thing is to go play in it, which means you're not accessible to get funding. So we're in the hands of Ski Star, or Skiboard, or Alpineboard, which are companies that are made to make money. They sell beds, they sell the high expensive machines, or expensive. So it's a hard nut to crack, to be honest. I think there's a big door opener happening now. There's a group that's trying to make wind pools in Norway. That's like a €100 million project. If you can get, and that will be like the cross between a privately owned and a facility that gets funding. If they make that, they kind of open the door for everything else to follow. I think that's when you kind of you fix the system a little bit. And we do have an example here with the ski jumps in Norway. We make a ski jump for 1,800 million Norwegians, and there's 280 registered skiers in Norway. So, but they have a system that works. So it's possible, but it's hard.
Thank you so much. Do you have anything to say about this gentleman's question?
No.
Okay, I have one more question, and then we wrap up this panel. What does the future of snowboarding look like from where you stand right now? How do you see snowboarding with everything's happening with the climate change? How do you see snowboarding in the future? Truls?
Well, I'm an evolutionist, so I believe in evolution. I think that everything is evolving into something that is fitting, call it technology and society. Kind of all the changes that we've seen has to do with social media, it has to do with people who are doing it, and so on and so forth. And I think snowboard will continue on that evolution like everything else. Where that will land, I don't know. But what I know for us as a company, like our vision is to enable meaningful journeys. That has been since the beginning. For me, it started with a surf trip around the world to learn the surfing industry after growing up snowboarding. And that trip for me was life-changing. And I mean, as was being said earlier, like You don't make a surf bag, a snowboard bag, and all this, a skate bag, like all these products that we do, which we put a lot of effort into. Like it's often 3 years of development. You don't make money on those because there isn't a big market. We do that because we really love the communities that we're working for and hope that they will help to build the brand as a bigger brand. And I think that's what we're going to continue to do as well, to help people to do these journeys that is life-changing. And I think the sports play a big role in that, either if it's surfing or snowboarding or whatever your passion is. So, yeah.
Thank you, Truls. Thank you for that. PJ?
What's the question?
Are you optimistic about the future of snowboarding? Like, you making boards for so many companies now, like, I hope you're gonna make a lot of designs for companies, but are you like optimistic about it? Like, because it's cycle, right? It's like, I talk to a lot of shops and they say like it's not the best time. Do you think it's gonna come back, or like how do you see like things?
Okay, I'm super optimistic because like snowboarding goes in these kind of waves of popularity and being like mainstream, being not, and when it's not, it's like it's the best form of it because it's kind of weeding out all the bullshit. So whatever's happening now, I think there's like more than ever, like so many segments of snowboarding and so many people doing different creative things. And when I started snowboarding, it was kind of like punk rock and baggy pants and you fit into there. But now it's like you got rail parts, you got backcountry, you got like so many different styles. So I think there's, no matter what, always room for like progression and creativity, and that's like regardless of kind of what's happening in the industry. Like you're gonna snowboard no matter what. So like it's like kind of in your own head, like what you make of it. It's like your perception of what's happening. So you can be like whatever negative and feel like everything's gone to shit and I don't have this or that, or you can say like my lack of like resources would force me to be creative in a different way. So like, yeah.
I just want to support that as well, because we had the founder of Gentem Stick coming by the office, Taro, and we were talking, and when I was talking to him, I felt a bit like the early days of snowboarding, because it felt like he, what he is doing is a bit of subculture within snowboarding again. When snowboarding was the subculture, now it's coming new subcultures within snowboarding. So I also feel the same as you said, and had that in recent meetings as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, guys. Simon, what would you say? How would you? I want to tweak the question with you. Is like, how do you see the future of the brick and mortar, like the shop, like in the future?
I think we just have to do a good job at knowing the product and getting the right people on the right boards or the right bindings or boots, or help people to get the experience. That's actually our job right now, because there's a lot of social media and videos, they're all over the place. We're not like the hub it used to be. So our job now is to be really good at what we do. And that is knowing the product and to help people have a good time on the mountain.
That's amazing, man. Shout out to all the brick and mortars in the world, because this is the foundation of everything. And I probably do the Common Line to put a spotlight on the brick and mortar. So thanks for you guys for like waking up every day and opening the shop and giving advice to all the people, because this is the shit, man. This is super important.
Thank you. Thank you to this guy right here, because he's like been traveling all around doing this, organizing this, and that's a shitload of work. I've been on the other side of that, so for you guys to show up and support this is like what it's all about, and so thank you.
Yeah.
And what I want to say is like thank you and thanks everyone here. It's us. This is everyone, and this is like, I think we are going to win tonight. We're winning right now, and it's like, I think I'm very optimistic about what I see right now. People smiling, drinking, having fun. And the last word is for Marta. Please tell me what you think about the future of station in the near future for you.
I mean, from a shop point of view, it's important for us to listen to our customers and, of course, our community. Like all the local snowboarders we have, without them, we're nothing at all. We owe them a lot for all they do for us. And we want to support you as much as we can. Maybe it's going a little bit downhill right now, but we'll come up again and we'll support you with every leg and arm that we have. We love you and we trust you. So, yeah.
Wow. I have one thing to add for everyone. So, beside this project, we're gonna paint the snowboard over here, and all the money we're gonna raise goes straight to Girl Shred. So every single ticket you purchase is for the good cause. I want to say thanks to all the brands you see here because they all give boards at every stops I went. It's like they contribute to this event. They really care about it, and I hope in 10 years all the fucking brands here will sit here in front of you to talk about their story. So again, like that's the beginning. I hope to see you again, come back in Oslo. But right now, let's have fun. Beers and hug, talk to everyone, talk to me, talk to those people. Andreas Wig is here in the building. That's fucking amazing. I'm so hyped. And thanks everyone. I fucking love you. I love snowboarding. Thank you so much.